Hello and welcome to Gun to the Bone in the Post-Truth Apocalypse. I'm Ben, as always I'm hanging out with Mike.
Hello.
Claire.
Hey.
And Pete. Hello. Today is a movie episode special and it's the 1987 classic Predator, but you already knew that because you read the title of the podcast before you started listening.
Hey.
Classic, one of my favourite films. It's my pick this time round. It's just fucking awesome, isn't it? Let's face it.
One of the first films I watched of that kind of genre, alien, creepy horror kind of film.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mixes action, doesn't it, and horror.
But it's got Arnie in it.
Suspense.
So Mum and Dad kind of thought, yeah, you can watch that when he's 6, no problem.
Travel back in time. It's 1987. Action movies are at their peak. You got Stallone, Schwarzenegger, to a lesser extent Van Damme, all fighting out for that top spot.
Steven
Isn't it?
Seagal.
Yeah.
You didn't come recommend it.
No, he was up there.
Actually,
for a
Steven
little bit.
Seagal's peak was 1991 with Under Siege.
The only good film he did.
Was a
wasn't
good
it?
film.
It's probably is the only good film he did, actually. Every film Steven Seagal's in, he's either a cop who knows karate, a government agent who knows karate, or an ex-cop
Aikido.
or ex-government agent who knows karate. That is
Aikido.
every Steven Seagal film.
Aikido, not karate.
Whatever. It's all some fancy fucking dancing, waving your arms around.
I idolised him as a kid, I did.
Oh, Seagal?
Yeah.
Over Arnie?
No.
You a lunatic?
Not over Arnie, but no, I loved the way because he did very similar martial arts to what I did. So as a kid, I loved the way he used to throw people about really easily.
Well, it's
And
wonderful.
it wasn't just staged because I did the similar martial arts, and you do throw people about, and I always appreciated his martial arts for that.
But we both know that Arnie's going to kick the living shit
yeah.
out of him in a full-on fight. And Stallone, and
If he
probably
grabbed-
Van Damme.
if he grabbed hold
He's
of
the
him.
poor man of the quadruple, isn't he?
Yeah, yeah.
Speaking
Van Damme would just kick him in the face, and he'd be like,
Speaking of Van
Go.
Damme, he was meant to be the Predator, the original Predator.
Oh yeah.
"What, the original,
Yeah, like a...
the monster,
Yeah.
the alien."
Yeah, the alien of it. We'll get into it. Let's thanks some new return listeners, and then we'll start talking about the movie properly.
Fair enough.
Because we're going to be here for a long time. Because this is all one of our favourite films, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
face
yeah.
it. So right, let's start. I'll read a selection. Plauen in Germany, Stockholm in Sweden, Jakarta, Indonesia, Ithaca, New York, Amman in Jordan, Pasadena, California, San Jose, California, Montreal in Canada, La Ljubljana in Slovenia,
Where?
La Ljubljana in Slovenia.
Nice.
So I'm going for Sacramento in California, Hanover, Germany, Bengaluru in India. You're always there, mate. I like to see you. Brings a smile on my face, that does.
Yeah.
Perryville, Missouri, Emma. Yeah, cracking. London in the UK, Krasnodar in the Russian Federation, Panabo in the Philippines, Dublin, Ireland, Bourbon, Oregon, Ashburn, Virginia, and Guadalajara, Spain.
Thank you.
Ashburn, Virginia. You're letting Guadalajara in Spain beat you a lot. I don't know what's going on really now.
You've only got so much time to listen, Pete.
He's a good bloke.
Yep, thank you to all
Hola.
our listeners.
I believe it's a man and his wife.
Welcome
Is it?
everybody.
It is.
So yeah, let me get back to what I was saying. Van Damme,
Yeah.
it was meant to be like a giant bug sort of thing.
Mhm.
But they realised that, A,
It looked awful.
it looked shit.
It was red as well, and when they were filmed, because it was a special effect, it had to be a red suit, it just looked terrible, it didn't look believable at all.
B, Van Damme was just too small when he was up against Arnie.
Right.
And 3, Van Damme just hated it, didn't he? He was too hot and he didn't like the suit, and he didn't like the fact that they
No
wouldn't
one
show
saw
his face. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was just being a whiny little bitch.
Yep. So they fired him and got in Kevin Peter Hall, who's 7'1".
Whoa.
Absolutely. Directed by John McTiernan, has a 7.8 on IMDb, which I disagree with. I put this at 8.1 quite happily.
8.6 I'd go for.
I was going to say
As a
closer.
minimum 8.1.
I'd say
Sounds
closer
like
to a 9, definitely.
Everything you want.
I can't really think of any bad points.
Huh?
I don't know why it couldn't be a 9
Yeah.
plus.
Could possibly be, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, it's a 7.8.
I wouldn't argue if someone gave it a 9.
Thing is, on IMDb, right, 7.8 is a fucking high mark.
It is.
Oh, it is, absolutely.
So that is as good as a 9.5 on any other.
yeah, that's
You know
true.
what I mean?
And on the snooze rater, that's what I do.
You get to wake. You
I
didn't
stayed awake,
snooze.
didn't snooze. Yeah, it's
No
yeah.
snoring from Claire today.
Fantastic. It's always
Great.
nice not to hear Claire snoring. Starring, obviously, Arnold Schwarzenegger as Dutch, Carl Weathers as Dylan, Bill Duke as Mac. Also, Bill Duke, if you remember that name, he was Rocky's trainer.
I thought he was from Austria. I didn't think he was Dutch. Sorry.
Jesse the Body Ventura, as we'll refer to him, as Blaine. Sonny Landham as Billy. Richard Chavez as Poncho. Shane Black, whose name we shall try not to mention because he was responsible for that god-awful sequel, as Hawkins. Elpidia Carrillo as Anna, who's the hot Spanish hostage. Latino hostage, even.
Very hot.
And what was her Predator's name again?
Kevin Peter Hall.
Kevin Peter Hall. Also Harry from Harry and the Andersons. And so we open with a movie with Predator's ship coming to the Earth on a hunt. Great score in this movie, by the way. The music's on point, absolutely all the way through. We come to a US base in the jungle in an unidentified Southeast Asian country.
Looks hot.
Looks hot.
Central American.
Central American, sorry. I saw the Hueys, I went Vietnam. Lots of Hueys about. Dutch turns up, ably played by Arnold Schwarzenegger. Some nice sunglasses, smoking a stogie, got a cigar on the go.
Looking cool as food.
Looking cool. And what he encounters is a meeting with the general who says that we've got a mission for you, and then he meets his mate Dylan. Dylan, you son of a bitch. The most testosterone-fueled moment in cinema history.
Air arm wrestle.
Air arm wrestle, biceps pumped.
Lots of water and oil sprayed all over their arms.
It's a phenomenal scene. You know?
It's gripping.
Hey!
Ba-boom.
Do I get the punk crown?
Yeah.
I guess you do, actually, yeah. Claire, hand Mike the punk crown,
Thank you.
please.
For now.
For now.
For now.
And Dylan explains the mission. We've lost a chopper, we need a rescue team, and we heard that you guys are the best. Interesting that Dutch has turned down jobs before, because he sees his team as a rescue team rather than a sort of assassins. Which, to be fair, I don't see at all, given the evidence of this movie.
The minigun kind of, that takes that one sentence
We'll get to the miniguns. We'll get to the
They
miniguns.
are very much assassins, aren't they?
I think so.
He just wants to have the moral high ground.
I think that's what it is. I think Dutch has got massive PTSD and he sees himself as a rescuer rather than just a cold-blooded assassin.
His crew, on the other hand.
His crew, on the other hand, are a bunch of fucking lunatics, in all fairness. But the problem is that Dylan is going in with them, and the idea is that when they get to the point where they're going to rescue these guys, he takes over. Dutch doesn't like that.
He doesn't.
And considering these are all friends and Dylan now works as CIA rather than the army, there's a bit of friction there, isn't there? CIA are famous for setting people up, aren't they?
Yeah.
Is he actually in the CIA, is he?
Yeah, Dylan is in the CIA now because he says, oh, you've got fat, you're sitting at a desk too much, aren't you? He's not out in the field anymore. In the army, he must have served with Dutch at some point. Well, he says they were in Vietnam together, they've both got the same lighter. He's like, me and Dutch were there in 70 whenever, you know, in Vietnam, Da Nang. Either way, you can say that these boys have seen a fair amount of action. We cut now to them going into action. Those Hueys, there's beautiful Hueys, I love the Huey.
Long Tall Sally's
Long
playing.
Tall Sally by Little Richard.
Yeah.
You know what, when we're at war with either China, well, we're going to be at war with China soon. We're probably going to be involved in Ukraine at some point. I'm going to have Long Tall Sally playing on the chopper when we're going in.
Fair enough.
Maybe that or it's that or Wagner, isn't it? You ride the Valkyries. There's no one else ever thought of that. What music you're gonna have as you're being chopped into action?
I don't think they're going to let you have any music at all.
Why the hell not? Gonna die? You could die. I want some music playing. I want something badass.
Barbie girl from Aqua.
That'd terrify the shit out of me if I heard that blasted towards me.
I'm
60
Barbie girl!
60 helicopters create the sun with Barbie girl playing.
That'd be hilarious.
That'd terrify the shit out of me.
It would certainly confuse the shit out of them. With pink sparkly fucking camo on.
Oh yeah, you've painted so it reflects the sun, it's all, everything's pink.
Pink sequins all over the place.
Terrify me, and you're all dressed as the chick, there's a princess from Frozen. But with webbing and
fully armed.
And fully armed. We introduce Jesse Ventura's character, Jesse the Body Ventura, sorry. His character Blaine. He's got some chewing tobacco. He's a bit of a lot of people in the American Armed Forces dip. That's what they call it. It's dip. Stick it in there. Have a suck on that. Chew it.
Yum.
Weirdly, in America, smoking is highly frowned upon, but chewing tobacco isn't, because it's smokeless.
Yeah.
I'd be more frowning upon it when he spits it out. It's like,
That's a real nasty habit you got there.
Big brown splodge all over the place.
Yeah, but I love the fact the opposite round, no one wants it. And he's like, well, this stuff will make you a goddamn sexual tyrannosaur, just like me.
Yeah. Badass.
Never said that Jesse Ventura isn't one of the finest performers in cinema history.
Does a good job, doesn't he?
Does. Hawkins, Shane Black, oof. I want to sigh every time I say that name. Thank God he's not in this movie that long.
Yeah.
You know, he was brought in as a writer on this film as well.
Was he?
And they were like, alright, we are like an actor short. So they basically said, you can write your own bit in, and that's why they killed him off first.
all right.
I see.
Yeah, either way.
I know he hated them glasses. He didn't want to wear them.
That's probably why he doesn't die in them.
No.
He's making pussy jokes
Yeah.
to Billy, the most humorless man on the squad, the Native American Indian tracker. And then, what's his name again? He played Billy. Sonny Landham, right, was so much of a nutcase they had to give him a bodyguard, not to protect him, to protect other people from him. He would just start fights in bars when they were filming.
Fucking
He
hell.
just liked to fight people. He's a nutcase. You know what? I never checked out his filmography.
So when he was on set, or when they were having time off set.
Time offset. He has to give him a bodyguard to stop him attacking other people. I doubt he's been in that much.
He's just a rowdy drunk, isn't he?
Yeah. There's a telling moment on the chopper, I thought.
He died in 2017.
Oh man, R.I.P.D. to you, Sonny Landham.
Yeah.
God rest his soul. He was born in 1941.
Wow.
Died in 2017. So that made him, 76?
But you know what I think I remember is...
45 when the film came out.
Fucking hell.
76, yeah. He looked bloody good for a 45-year-old, didn't he?
Ripped.
To be fair, everyone... Well, yeah, he is ripped in this movie. But there's Dylan and Dutch are talking, and Dylan's like, oh man, I never thought I'd miss this. And Dutch looks at him and goes, yeah, you're always worse. You always weren't that smart. And they just say, yeah, what the fuck you got out of this? And then you're coming back in.
Yeah.
And the Dutch suspects, doesn't he? He knows they're being set up, but he hasn't really got much of a choice in the matter.
No.
They fast over in the jungle, they find a crashed helicopter. Poncho, he goes up to investigate. There's the pilots been executed in the copter. They've both been shot. The bodies are there, but there's anyone else. But it's no ordinary army helicopter, is it? It can't be.
Why?
Because it's a surveillance chopper. It's a CIA helicopter.
Ah.
So he says, Billy starts tracking them. And he's like, well, so many men in US Army boots went this way.
And the gorillas were going and...
The gunners are going another way because it's like they vanished. And you see the first big fright of the movie, you get horror element to this film, don't you? Which is very subtly done.
Yeah, it builds attention slowly, doesn't it? So first of all, you've got the downed helicopter.
That's it.
The great score as well and everything to go with it.
Yeah, that massive. It is a big fright when you see that. It scared the shit out of me when I was 8 years old watching this.
The three bodies.
The three bodies hanging, skinned, flayed.
Guts all over the floor, weren't there?
Pile of intestines on the floor. Arnie gets the dog. Arnie's brought the dog because he knows the guy. It's Jim Hopper. He knows him. He's a Green Beret. And Dylan says that I didn't know, and they shouldn't have been here. But he did know, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's slimy now. He's CIA. Billy comes back to Dutch. Says, "Hey, look, I can't make head nor tail of this. Shooting in all directions, loads of empty cases, but there's no tracks. I can't explain it. No rebel tracks, nothing." Mac and Blaine, at this point, break out the miniguns.
Yeah.
Now let's say that the minigun. Think of a Gatling gun. It's got 7 barrels. It rotates. They're electronically powered. You have to put that whirr noise.
Yeah.
That's the motor generating, spinning the barrels. It feeds round through. It's capable of sustained fire.
Oh, such a lovely gun.
It would be impossible though for a man to carry that, wouldn't it?
Yeah, Even
And
that
shoot it
size.
accurately.
Yeah.
Even that size, yes. The recoil's blowing your arms off. Never mind the fact, alright, obviously Jesse is called the Body Ventura. Because he's
Good
buff.
reason. Yeah.
But even so, if they were carrying 600 rounds, which is a standard combat load,
What was his name?
Jesse Ventura,
Jesse Ventura.
then let's face it, 600 rounds through one of them is going to last you about a minute and a half.
Yeah.
It's not enough.
Looks badass though.
It looks badass as fuck. It's fucking fantastic. This is one of the things that gripped my imagination about this film as a kid.
Ah, his birthday's the same as mine.
Ah,
Born on the 15th of July. He's 71. Just.
I like the downward camera angle with the sort of Tommy gun type thing, and it just makes it look huge, doesn't it?
the minigun.
The
The
minigun.
minigun, sorry.
Yeah, it's payback time.
Tommy gun was the handheld sort of one that.
No, Tommy guns are the like a submachine gun, big drum magazine,
Drum,
or,
yeah, drum,
or a
yeah.
straight magazine, depends.
Sort of
Yeah,
Al
if you-
Capone times, wasn't it?
Yeah, if you're watching a World War II movie, they never use the drum magazines.
Yeah.
They always use a straight magazine. Drum magazines rattle, they give you away at night. There you go. Now
Yeah.
you know.
Some excellent, camera shots from below, isn't it? When they're walking through the jungle, it makes the jungle seem huge,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
It does, yeah, I love it. I love
Some
it.
great
It's
cinematography.
a great shot, yeah. It's all. Mac is not impressed with Dylan because he kind of makes a lot of noise. He's a bit rusty, isn't he?
Yeah.
Hasn't been in the field for a while. You do that again, I'll bleed you.
Real quick.
Real quick.
quiet.
Mac, you're fucking Mac.
It's Psycho Mac, isn't he?
Psycho Mac. He's a sergeant, isn't he? He's second after Dutch.
Yeah.
It's like, Dutch ain't going to tell you this, but you're giving away my boy's position, so I'll bleed you. Dutch slides forward to recce the enemy base. What I do like about this film is they actually do move quite well for soldiers in this terrain. Someone spent a bit of time teaching them how to move.
But
He's a
they-
bit too quick going down the hill.
I was going to say you can't hear any rustling of leaves or anything, and it would definitely be there. I think they've sort of messed with that for the film.
Yeah.
Well, someone has to give them training in these things, like how to use the firearms and how to move as soldiers, and they do move quite well. Through that terrain. Someone spent some time choreographying that. Dutch sees a hostage getting executed. And it's some kind of unsure. When I first ever watched this, I thought it was one of Hopper's men. But it turns out it's a CIA diplomat who's actually been assigned to this region.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
So who were the hostages that they were going in to get?
Yeah.
Wasn't it a cabinet minister?
That's right.
That's what
But, it
they were
turns out,
told.
but he's a white guy. He's in the CIA rather than being a native.
Yeah, 'cause Max says, if they were Central American, I'm Chinese.
Couldn't get away with that nowadays. So Dutch orders the attack. Possibly rescue the hostages if there's any alive. They don't know at this point. So, alright, we're going in. We're going in hard. Blaine and Max sneak up, stealth kills.
Well, yeah, he sends
Proper
two off one way, two off the
Yeah,
other.
you flank
It
him.
was meant to be stealth, and then he fucks it all up, doesn't he?
Well, you get the two stealth kills in with Mac and Blaine. They take out the guys with knives.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's Assassin's Creed level.
Yeah.
And
Then he goes all Arnie on.
Then he goes home. He picks up a damn truck. It's
Yeah.
been used to generate. Just launches it down the village. But what the hell not?
This is when it turns into 80s classic action film.
Yeah, and weirdly, this scene, this whole attack scene, wasn't filmed by the director. It was filmed by his number two.
Ah.
You can actually, when you think about it, tell the difference. Oh God, what's his name now?
Maybe he was just
The
notoriously
director.
better at a kind of like big war action kind of thing.
John McTiernan had this thing where, if you notice in this movie, when someone speaks to someone, you see their face, and then when the other guy says their line, it's going to their face. It's like you know who you're supposed to be looking at for the communication.
Yeah.
The camera pans around a lot in this film. This scene here is just a glorified blood, gore, and action movie scene, and he didn't really want to do it, so he gave the assistant director to do.
Alright. I think it fits in real well, especially the time period.
It does, but I just want to point out, there's a huge explosion, the assault begins, there's gunfire, minigun, taking dudes out, it's fucking
And
sweet.
trees.
The rescue team blows up the village and the helicopter. Now I just want to point out, in that sentence, rescue team. No one in this assault is getting rescued because they destroy and kill and maim everything they come across,
Including the chopper, that
including the
if
helicopter.
they'd have left the chopper intact, yeah, it would have been a lot of a shorter film, But yeah, it would have been a lot.
Well, they wouldn't
a lot
have had to get
more
to the chopper,
alive.
would they?
No, they wouldn't have had to.
There'd have been a lot more of them alive. Let's face it.
Of course, we get the classic lines: "Knock, knock." Arnie kicking his way through the door and then brutally killing everybody inside the building, and then stabbing one guy through the chest so hard his knife comes out from into the back wall. And the classic line: "Stick around."
Stick around.
Yeah.
A pretty rebel sneaks up behind Arnie and he smacks her in the face with the boat's rifle, for some reason sparing her life when he's just killed about 20 or 30 people.
She's the only bird in the camp.
Well, yeah,
He's not going to kill a woman, is he?
that's very true. He's a man of honour, is Dutch. Clearly. Turns out there's a bigger conspiracy. Dylan's rifling through all the intelligence. He's like, oh man, this is great. All the paperwork. It turns out the guys the rebels had killed was a CIA diplomat and Russian military advisors.
Oh, it had to be the Russians, didn't it?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
Dutch goes nuts at this point. He's like, no, you set us up!
Did?
Dylan user and Dutch is not happy.
Liar! That was him saying liar.
Dutch is not happy, and Dylan replies, you're an asset, you're an expendable asset. That's all you are.
I use you to get the job done.
Yeah.
At this point, the Predator's watching everything that they're doing, isn't he?
Yeah, we're getting POV at this point.
Yeah, he's recording everything, isn't he?
The girl who's captured, Anna, Dylan takes her, and obviously she's your baggage, you take her, you fall behind, that's on you, we're getting out of here. Seen enough of this shit.
And that iconic joke by Hawkins to
Make
Jesse.
Billy laugh.
Yeah.
The
Jeez, I said to my girl, I went down to my girlfriend, hey, I said, geez, you got a big pussy, geez, you got a big pussy. She said, why'd you say it twice? I didn't. An echo, because Billy's obviously had to explain to him. the classic Billy laugh. Finally laughs at a joke,
Yeah.
cracks his face. We get some more thermal POV, point of view, and I'm thinking, what if at that point like you saw like the Predator's dick get hard and he just started jacking in thermal? Because it's basically POV porn, this. With the Predator. This is Predator porn, isn't it? He's hunting someone. I bet he's hard as a fucking rock.
Would he have glow-in-the-dark cum, do you think?
I bet he would. He'd have luminescent cum.
What colour though? Pink or something? Pink jizz.
That'd be ironic that the most sort of hardcore masculine alien has bright pink jizz.
Yeah.
The irony.
That kind of pink.
Pete's will do a very, very pink lighter.
Yep.
I like the bit where he picks up the scorpion, doesn't he? And it's in his hand. Iconic image, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Dylan's like, he's like, Max turns turn around. Why? Just turn around. Sticks a scorpion with his knife and you're welcome.
He goes, thanks. He goes, anytime.
Anytime.
And the Predator starts copying the voices, doesn't he?
Anytime.
That's it. It's just thing.
They've got a decision to make now, haven't they?
Get the fuck out of there.
Yeah, there's one option that's brought up, and Billy goes, yeah, but I wouldn't wish that on a broke dick dog.
Yeah, basically, get to the rendezvous point. The chopper won't come in to get them. It's too dangerous. They've got to get to the alternate extraction point. And as you say, it's through a valley, and that's not good. Wouldn't wish on a broke dick dog.
No, I've seen some badass bush in my time. Makes Cambodia look like Kansas.
I've seen some badass bush in my time. Different kind of bush though.
You lose it in here, you're in a world of hurt. That's plain, isn't it?
Yeah. Billy's scouting ahead, and he's using his Native American powers. Because he's a tracker, isn't he?
Yeah, he's very perceptive.
Very perceptive. He gets Native American vision. He sees the predator.
He senses it, doesn't he?
Senses it.
Senses it.
He just kind of start picking it out, doesn't he, through the course of the film? Because he's got Native American powers. He's at one with the jungle.
That's what we're going with.
That's what I'm going with. That's my headcanon. He's got powers. Ancient powers.
He's at one with the earth and the surroundings, isn't he? So very in tune.
He notices it more than the
White Devils.
Yeah, the White Devils, the Nordic Devils.
Anna at this point tries to escape. Hawkins captured her, but he's killed by the predator. Thank fuck. If only he killed Shane Black for real. The body is dragged away.
Wouldn't have made that awful
He shoots it
film.
with his gun on his shoulder, doesn't he?
Yeah.
blood splats all over him.
No. Does he? I thought he gores him, doesn't he?
No, he runs up and just like gores him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just like rugby tackles him kind of thing, but blades first.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the next one that gets shot, isn't it?
And then
Yeah.
Poncho's like, looks for him and says the guts, and he? And
Yeah, just the
Butch
guts.
says, "Did you find Hawkins?" And he's like, "I can't tell."
Yeah. So they ask Anna, and all she can say is the jungle came alive and took him, and he, bullshit! There's 2 or 3 men out there at the most.
2 or 3 men out there at the most.
We watched Predator the Musical after the film, listener. If you do want to watch Predator the Musical, it is fantastic.
It's genius.
I'd
5 minutes of just whimsical fun.
I would advise watching the film first and then watching Predator the Musical. You can find it on YouTube. So they want to find the body, because obviously one of the Americans love to bring the bodies home. Don't they? No man left behind.
We kind of do the same as well, to be fair.
Yeah, we do to a lesser extent, but we'll steal their ammunition and their boots if they're better than ours. They don't need them.
No, they don't.
So they track back and they find the corpse strung up. And then the Blue Blade gets killed, which is a bit of a shitter.
Yeah.
Gets a lightning bolt to the chest and the Predator's shoulder gun.
Ah.
Mac's not happy.
He's not.
He's not, to say the least. But he sees him, he sees the eyes.
Yeah.
Against the trees, yellow eyes flash. And then we go, ah! And he starts just firing and firing.
Now, you told me this was a military tactic.
It is a military tactic because you just spray the area.
Yeah, he picks up the minigun, doesn't he?
Yeah, he picks up the minigun, he starts firing that. Everyone joins in, they're all screaming and firing. You're sweeping by fire.
Yeah, what happens if, because they're going to be low on ammo at some point?
That's what I think of this scene. I'm like, it's ace.
Yeah,
But you really
that's
What
why I
a waste
questioned
of
it.
ammo.
Yeah, it's a bit OT.
But in all fairness, they had just been in that little village with a shitload of ammo.
Yeah.
Depends what the other guys are using. Arnie and Billy using M16s or 203 grenade launchers, they're firing 5.56.
And they're probably using AK-47.
They were, so that's 7.62. Unless their AKs have been rechambered.
To be fair,
That's unlikely, we're pushing credibility.
it had no bearing on the film.
No, it didn't.
None of them.
Let's assume
survived.
they're all carrying
None
a
of them
full-
survived much longer anyway.
Let's assume
so-
they're all carrying a full combat loader at 600 rounds. The minigunners have probably got 1,200.
expended all of his ammunition anyway.
And they've
so-
probably got a couple of mags left by the time they've gone ah and fired into the crowd, into the jungle, into the crowd.
Into the ground. What the fuck, Ben?
I should have thought you'd
Jesus.
bit of a slip there, wasn't it?
Freudian slip.
My word, Benjamin.
You don't have access to guns anymore, do you, Ben? Just make sure, shall we?
Not unless they've changed the armoury code at the reserve centre.
Luckily, we live in England. There is no access to guns here.
He's an ex-squaddy. He may have access, you see.
Nah, like fuck.
What's the shooting to crowds?
Didn't sound like a shooting crowd. Just a bit of a slip. They shot. I tell you what. No, you know what? I'll explain.
As he says,
he
with
shot
a
in-
twitch.
He shot into a crowd of trees.
Exactly.
There you go.
Every time he did say shooting into a crowd, he did twitch, like his shoulder like went up and his head went back a little bit. Strange that was.
And then when it's all calmed down a bit,
How do you know it's not some kind of weird PTSD
From Call of Duty when
from
you...
Call of Duty in the airport scene? In the airport mission. I replayed that the other day. That's what it is. That's clearly what it is. I'm going to the game again.
Just go with that. Right.
they look to see if they've hit anything, don't they?
They
And
do.
They've not hit nothing.
No, but
Well,
it is a genuine tactic, because if there's a sniper, say, that's probably what they think it is at this point, they know where the shots come from, so you know what, let's destroy everything within fucking 100 yards of our immediate area.
Well, they go back to the body then, don't they?
Yeah, and they realise that they did the same thing to Jim Hopper. Firing in all directions, not hitting anything.
Yeah.
And he's like, they look at the body and there's no powder burns, no shrapnel.
No, there's a massive hole.
Yeah, wound is fusing, cauterised. What the
Special
fuck was
effects are
that?
pretty good at that point, when you see the chest wound on, you see the ribs bursting
Yeah.
out and everything.
Yeah.
Poor Jesse Ventura. Jesse the body Ventura is dead. Now, they hit nothing. Or did they?
Wow.
As Anna finds the blood, the glow-in-the-dark blood.
Mac hits them initially, doesn't he, with his little machine gun. Before
He's like firing an M16 as well, yeah.
Yeah, when he's on the M16, he does catch him, doesn't he? As he runs off.
The Predator's blood is a mix of liquid from glow sticks and KY jelly.
And he has pink jizz.
And how cool though is the Predator's cloaking device?
Oh yeah, the cloaking device is fantastic.
And
Isn't it?
in those days as well,
Yeah.
it kind of holds up still now, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah, it was always meant to be like. You get the feeling that effect. It was always meant to be like that. You can't sort of go, "Oh, that looks shit nowadays," because it's a cloaking device.
Yeah.
So I tell you how they did it.
Go on.
The invisibility cloaking effect was achieved with a bright red suit, because it was the farthest opposite of the green of the jungle and the blue of the sky. The red was removed with chroma key techniques, leaving an empty area. The take was then repeated with actors using a 30% wider lens on the camera, and when the two takes were combined optically, the jungle from the second take filled in the empty area.
Never.
Because the second take was filmed with a wider lens, a vague outline of the alien could be seen, with the background scenery bending around its shape.
Oh, that's
Fucking
right.
awesome.
Yeah, because it looks more blurry where he stood,
quality.
doesn't it?
Yeah.
But how brilliant that it worked
Yeah.
like it did.
I mean, Stan Winston designed the final cut of the Predator. So the Predator we see in the movie was designed by Stan Winston, who, let's face it, is a special effects and monsters genius.
Yep.
You know, he did the aliens in Alien and Aliens and probably all the aliens in all fairness.
Yeah, and I forgot to say earlier, the original concept for this film was a joke. Someone said the only person Rocky Balboa had yet to fight was E.T.
That's right, yeah. So Arnie was like, right then.
And they made it with Arnie.
Because remember, it's 1987. They're rivals at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a wonderful period in the 80s when there was just so many dumb action movies with muscle-bound guys. And then in the early 90s, it all went to shit a little bit when Stallone did Stop and My Mom Will Shoot.
I kind of enjoyed that at the time.
Yeah, it bombed, that movie did. Really did
I think they
bomb.
just got shitter and shitter.
If you watched it
didn't
as
they?
an adult, I'd imagine.
Then you get 1992.
But he did do a musical with Dolly Parton.
Who?
Sylvester Stallone.
No way.
The Rhinestone Cowboy or
Oh
something.
shit, yeah. I've heard about
I've
that.
never seen it. It sounds awful.
But then you get 1992, you get Arnie a Razor, which is, I think, is a damn good movie actually.
Eraser.
Yeah.
Good film.
And 1994,
Sixth Day.
that was a bit later. 96, I think, Sixth Day. 94, you get True Lies, which I think
Good
is
film.
a damn good film.
Good film. And not forgetting, before that you had Last Action Hero.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah.
I enjoyed, again, as a kid, enjoyed
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
That was aimed more at kids though. That wasn't that wasn't an adult.
That was a
Arnie
12,
film.
yeah.
You know what? I'll stick my
So-
neck out. Kindergarten Cop, 91.
Yeah, great film.
It's alright.
Great
Yeah.
film.
I don't like Kindergarten Cop at all, actually.
Great film. Loved that as a kid as well.
Yeah.
I loved all Arnie films, and it would have been Predator that started me off on Arnie films, definitely. Pretty
Not
sure.
Terminator.
Of course, we're forgetting Terminator. We're missing out Terminator
Yeah.
2
Yeah.
and Terminator,
Yeah,
obviously.
but
But
as
the
a
other
kid-
Arnie films,
As a kid, I wasn't introduced to Terminator
Yeah.
because Terminator was a little bit more nasty than Predator.
No.
I don't know, the skin bodies freaked me out as a kid.
Yeah, I know,
That's-
but there was a lot more vicious, and it was human on human in a roundabout way, wasn't it?
Again,
and there
I
was
do
a
get
bit
what
of
you're
sex
saying.
and things like that. So it's not something my mum and dad.
Terminator was
At
quite
a young-
sexy, wasn't it?
Yeah, a young.
It's quite sexy.
Yeah, it's got a hot
Was she
sex
Arnie in that
scene
biker
it.
gear, Claire?
No, the sex scene in it's
Yeah,
quite...
yeah.
Yeah.
With her and him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wouldn't have been introduced to Arnie in that way till I was a bit older. Like I was probably 10
Yeah.
at the time. I
Just
watched
think she had
Terminator.
sex with Carl Reese and he was wearing a tramp's pants, wasn't he? I just...
Going
bet she had-
commando.
I bet
Going
she had-
commando at that. Going commando in a tramp's pants. And she still does him
A
unprotected.
commando going commando.
Unprotected sex.
I reckon
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
she
had
comes in
Mitchie
naked,
crotch.
doesn't he? He's got the
She had an itchy crotch for a couple of weeks afterwards, I reckon.
I'd
She
say
needed
so.
a course. She needed a
Yeah,
course of
we gave-
antibiotics.
We are getting distracted. We're moving on to a different franchise. Dutch says, like, hey, look, we've got to make a stand here. We're being hunted. We do get the first glimpse of the uncloaked Predator doing some Predator first aid.
Yeah, that was quite sick,
Yeah.
wasn't it? His leg, he's got a right cut in it, hasn't he? A right gash.
That's it. And nothing could have lived at that range, says Mark. He saw the eyes.
The eyes, they just disappeared.
Puts like a clamp on his gash, doesn't he? And like twists it, and
Was
it.
it on his gash?
Yeah. Puts a
Oh,
clamp
oh,
on
you
his-
mean on his cut?
Yeah.
Right. I thought
Twists
you
it
were
and
being
goes,
transgender or something for a minute.
He could be, we don't know.
Oh yeah.
Who knows if the Predator's packing or not packing?
He's got an axe wound and a willy.
Who knows?
He's got a gash face, hasn't he?
If Mike, if that's vagina,
Oh my God.
leave it looking at me.
Yeah. It's a good job you're single if that's the kind of thing you go for. Jesus. The fanny I like's got teeth.
Have you got a better face for a fanny?
Oh, Jesus.
I won't fuck you if you haven't.
He's come from up north.
Or it's Mike's north, I don't know why. He says when I'm burning Manning, I don't know why.
And Billy's like, there's something out there waiting for us, and it ain't no man.
Ain't no man,
We're all gonna die.
You scared?
Yes,
They can't believe Billy's
he's
scared. Billy's scared of nothing.
Mac ain't, he's gonna cut his name into him.
Yeah. Doing he's doing a bit of a eulogy for Blaine, and he. I like they've been to Vietnam together. They were buddies. They were friends. Max says to Dutch, you know, like he was my friend. And you're like, poor Mac.
Poor Mac.
The flares go off. The claymores go off. Mac ends up stabbing a boar to death, which I think is no mean fucking feat.
No.
No.
Boars are heavy. They got
It was
touched.
a
They'll
big
gore
one as
you.
well. It was a big one.
He was a big boar.
Front long tusks.
Yeah.
They take the piss out of him,
Poor
don't they?
Impressive.
I hope they ate it.
Couldn't you find anything bigger?
They realise they're being hunted because Blaine's body's gone now.
God.
Yeah.
In the midst of all of that, he's gone. And the score again on point here. Absolutely.
He's killing us one at a time. Like
Yeah.
a hunter.
He's using the trees. Turns out Anna speaks English. After all, he grabs her and says, what does he say? Stop playing around. What happened?
What did you see?
Doing it again. It's 2 or 3 men at most. It's his catchphrase in this movie, to be fair. 2 or 3 men at the most.
Well, I think it's the point where she kind of shows him the blood on her trousers. The turning point, then, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
That's it. If it bleeds, we can kill it. So they make a stand now. At this point, Max starts obsessively shaving. Do you know why?
With the sweat off his face, just shaving.
They had to make a stunt razor because it was something that Bill Dukes just wanted to put in. So they had to make a fake razor that squirted blood when he run it in his face.
Stop shaving, you don't have a beard.
Anna turns around and says, you know, in the local legend says that, you know, the hottest years this happens. They know it as the demon who makes trophies of men.
Ooh.
It's pretty sweet, isn't it?
Yeah.
Metal.
And as from the new film that's just come out, it's clearly obvious that, yes, they have been coming in the
For a very
past
long
Years.
time, yeah.
for a long
Seems like
time.
in Predator 2, it's the hottest summer on record in LA, isn't it? He's drawn to heat and conflict.
Yeah.
The net goes up though, they got him, they fucking got him.
Yeah.
Nobody starts shooting.
No, and he escapes.
Cuts himself free.
Max is in there and follows him.
He does, and Dylan says, I'm going after him, I'll get him.
Fucks up what's his tits with the log.
Yeah, the log goes off, Poncho's fucked, he's hit by a booby trap with a giant log, his ribs are bust. Max just repeatedly saying, gonna have me some fun, gonna have me some fun.
I'm gonna have me some fun. I'm gonna have me some fun. I'm gonna have me some fun.
That's it. Max hiding though, he's killed up his way, you can see him, he's fucking trying to work out his shot.
I'm gonna have me some fun.
He gets to, Dylan hears him, he's like, turn around, get over here. He's seeing, you can see him, and then all of a sudden, you get the iconic 3 red dots
On his arm.
on his arm and then on his
looks
head.
Up. He looks up, doesn't he? He
Why
looks
would you
up
do that?
I know, yeah. It's not very bright, is it?
No, I thought he was trained commando, you know.
Yeah.
As soon as he knows the game's up, the Predator knows where he is. Doesn't really matter at that point, does it? He's stuck in that log, one way or the other, isn't he? It's shot.
Yeah, but if he
Then
doesn't
it's-
look up to where the fucking target's coming from, you're going to get shot in the head,
Well,
as he does.
And
yeah,
then
but
it's one of
still,
the
that's a
best-
quicker way of going out, isn't it? I mean, your arms or legs blowing off.
And then it's one of the best camera shots of the film.
It is, yeah.
Gore as well.
You're behind it, aren't you? And
Yeah.
all the blood
Yeah.
all over the camera.
Dylan's like, oh, what the fuck is going on here?
Starts shooting wildly.
He's
at
calling Mac, innit? And he's
Yeah,
his
he's
dead body.
like, anytime. Here's that anytime. Gets shot, then he starts firing. As soon as he starts firing, man, he just like Hopper did. He's got 2 MP5s, he's blatting away. Next thing you know, lightning bolt, his arm flies off.
His arm flies off and it's
Still firing, which is
Da, da, da,
fucking...
da, da,
and he's
da, da.
screaming. He's lost an arm, he'll be dead in a couple of minutes anyway. I'm surprised he's still standing.
Then you see the Predator coming round the flank.
Yeah.
And he gets his blades out. And
Blades,
Dylan,
Wolverine blades out behind the fist.
Dylan tries to... He spins, doesn't he, and brings his rifle up.
Yeah.
But it's too late. The Predator's got him. Lifts him up.
Yeah, lifts him up into the air. And at this point, hearing that scream, they're crossing this little crevasse on a log. And Billy decides to get naked and throw his weapon into the ravine. Takes his shirt off.
I thought this was a bit of a waste.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? You wanted to see him fight him.
Yeah, he just cuts himself, and then you just hear a scream, and you're like, oh, what are you doing? You're just dying for the sake of dying, or
It's
what?
one bit
It's not
of film.
slowing anyone down.
I know. It's one bit of the film. Why didn't you show his death?
Gremlins reference if nobody else got that.
I didn't.
No.
That's what he says at the end. Bye Billy, bye Wolf.
But it's just like, oh. Then Poncho just gets taken out.
Head.
Just headshot straight away.
In the neck, innit?
Not worthy praise, not worth saving the skull. He's already injured, he's playing out his
Yeah.
misery.
Now
at
you
that
say
point.
that though, because he does keep skulls with holes in.
He does, but he's not worthy praise, is he?
He was injured, wasn't he?
He's
He's like
injured.
an injured.
Yeah, he's putting out.
deer.
He's putting out his misery. That's all he sees it.
Well, he might have been going for Dutch.
Could have been. Dutch gets winged.
He after he kicks the gun out of the girl's hand.
And it's like he's only unarmed. He's not hunting you.
Yeah.
Get to the chopper. Get to the chopper. He's chased, but unarmed. He falls off a cliff into a pool or a lake. Or you gonna say lake, pool?
With a waterfall.
Waterfall. It's very,
beautiful.
very beautiful. Lovely little scene. But he survives, gets to the bank, but he's covered in the mud. The Predator jumps in the water. You find out the water does affect his cloaking device. Doesn't work as well. You can see him. This is the first time the Dutch sees him uncloaked.
Maybe that's why he chooses hot weather.
Yeah.
Hunting.
Probably.
Ain't gonna rain, is it? Ain't gonna
No.
fuck with your camouflage.
True. But the Predator with his thermal vision can't see the mud splattered Dutch. So he just starts randomly firing into the bush, doing exactly the same as the guys before him did, as Arnold's crew did.
Because he saw a rat. Well, not a rat, it was
think it was
like
a possum, wasn't it?
wombat-y kind of thing, yeah. Possum, there you go, yeah.
That's it. So Dutch starts making booby traps. He's going to trap him, he's going to hunt him, he's going to hunt the hunter.
That's it.
We then cut to Billy's skull getting ripped out and cleaned off.
Oh, poor Billy.
Yeah, we then cut back to Dutch because this is an 80s movie, so we have montages. We now have a preparation montage. He's making a pretty sweet bow. He's got some leaf grenade arrows. He's wrapping gunpowder. Don't know why he just didn't use the M3 cartridges he had, but no, he emptied the grenades out.
Well, he wanted to take away any heat signature from weapons and things like that, didn't he?
Yeah.
So he wanted to, like, not have
True.
no visible weapons.
So he's using a bow.
And if he draws the Predator to the fire, then he can fire the gunpowder and it's gonna explode, isn't it?
Yeah, he smears himself in mud. It's interesting to note it's a full moon. It's a hunter's moon.
I hadn't noted that.
Yeah. So he lights a torch and he screams.
War cry.
War cry, come and get me. Lights a big fire, climbs a tree, takes a position. He draws the Predator in with the fire and shoots the gunpowder arrows into it. The Predator starts just randomly shooting back. Like, where the fuck's that coming from? He can't pick him out. He's covered in mud.
Yeah.
He hasn't got
the
the...
trees.
Does eventually catch his tree, though, doesn't he?
He does. But the Predator's wrist control gets broke, so he's controlling all his shit from. He can't go stealth for the minute. He's a bit knackered. Now Dutch is hiding. He's over him on a felled tree. You can't see him in the mud. At that point, he just fucks off. He's like, well, where is he? Where is he? Where's he gone? He makes the Predator give away his position and starts hunting him with a fucking spear like a boss, in all fairness.
Yeah.
The homemade spear. It's pretty sweet. Following the blood trail, he's wounded him. Predator's bleeding. If he bleeds, we can kill it. What's our one important life lesson, ladies and gentlemen?
If it bleeds, we can kill it.
You haven't got to sing it, you just say it, but fair enough. if you want to take this operatic. Now, just as the Predator can just about see him, Dutch used an explosive, which could have been, in all fairness, wounds him again, but it also blows Dutch out the way. The problem is that Predator catches up to him and just picks him up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
as I look at him.
By the throat.
Inspects his fine physique and
Yeah.
that kind of. He's a prime example of a man. This guy, looking at his jaw and
Checking him out, because he's like, hang on, this guy's just had the best of me a little bit here.
Yeah.
He's
You know what I
hurt
mean?
me like
Yeah,
I
no.
haven't been hurt before.
Yeah.
Really. Not by one of these puny.
Maybe a few
humans.
stray bullets in the leg, but that's it.
He drops
Yes.
into the ground, doesn't he?
What makes him so different from the rest? He drops him to the ground.
And then he takes his mask off, and it's like mano a mano in it.
Yeah, removes his gun, takes his mask off.
Classic line.
Classic line. You're one ugly motherfucker. And they fight, and they have a fist fight basically. To be fair, Dutch gets his ass kicked a little bit, but he's luring him, isn't he? He knows he can take the punches, he's luring him in. The Predator stalking the trap slave. Come on, do it, kill me, I'm here, kill me, do it now.
Do it now!
Sounds like he's hitting a sandbag, like he's like proper hard, doesn't it, when he hits the Predator?
The bit of flank, he's no idiot, he knows Dutch has got this trap, so he flanks round. The problem is Dutch has got another trap, and the Predator gets splattered with a fucking tree trunk. It's sweet.
Then we think it's dead.
We do. It's fucked up. And then he's going to go bash his head in with a rock.
Yeah, because the fucking log moves, and he's like, oh, for fuck. You see the look on his face as if to say, fuck's sake, this thing just won't die. Picks up the rock, and then he's spitting blood, and he,
Said, what are you?
what the hell are you?
What the hell are you?
And Predator repeats back to him what he just said.
At this point, I'd have ripped his head off and took his spine.
He started wearing a Predator skull.
Well, I'd be taking that to the chopper.
Well, how much could you make off of that? Yeah, this terrible thing happened to me in the woods. Here's the proof. Look at this motherfucker.
Oh, mate, no, he's getting picked up by the CIA
Yeah.
and then fucking
Any
taken up to a
evidence?
secure location and kept there forever.
That's probably why it's not in the next film.
Yes, that's it.
Or the little flash. Look into the light. Bing.
That's it, innit?
Forget
It's
everything.
like, what the hell are you? And he says, and he doesn't realise what he's come up against. Human being. We're good at two things, that's problem solving and killing.
Yeah, and when you combine those two things into one problem,
Yeah.
my God, we're fucking amazing.
Yep.
We are. And he's on our turf, isn't he, Predator? At this
That's it.
point, he's on our turf.
We like to think we are anyway.
Oh no, we're pretty resourceful when it comes to killing and staying alive.
Yeah.
It's the one driven instinct. It's what causes us to reproduce. The survival instinct, because we're passing our genes on, we're still living.
And figuring shit out.
And combine that,
Yeah.
and building stuff.
Yep.
Combine those three things, what? The aliens don't stand a chance.
He didn't, did he?
He didn't, because he's fucked up. Is
Well,
what
once
he
you know
is.
the Predator's weakness, you can only see infrared.
Yeah.
You know, you got the upper hand.
You have. And the Predator,
He's blind.
in a last little, haha, fuck you, does Billy's laugh, and then sets his self-timer down, so the thing on his wrist goes boom.
It's like a miniature nuke.
It's a mushroom cloud. I think in Predator 2, Gary Busey's CIA character, pretty sure he says it was 15 city blocks was taken out.
Cool.
Something like that, yeah.
You know
If I remember
those,
correctly.
you know his little arm thing? You can get that as a watch. Predator watch with the, like, you know.
That's a bit much though, isn't it, on your
No,
arm?
not the whole thing.
I was gonna say.
It's like shrunk down, but it's got the symbols and.
So you got to learn the language.
Oh, that sucks!
What time is it? Hold on, it's... That's the time.
What time is it? Gonna have me some fun. Rapey Predator?
Want some candy?
Well, that's a rapey Predator. In Predator 2 when he covers the kid's voice.
Oh, yeah.
Want some
The sexual predator?
Sexual predator, that
Oh, shit.
Oh, was that mushroom cloud kind of alerts a helicopter which has picked up Anna, and they come back and find Dutch, who's just stood there looking pretty cool, covered in mud and blood, survived a semi-nuclear explosion.
It's looking
Probably,
a bit lost, actually.
It's probably at least a thermobaric weapon of his 15
He's
city
just lost all
blocks.
his men, hasn't he? And he's been through a massive trauma.
Massive, just a little bit, yeah, massive trauma.
Anna's staring on at him lovingly with
She's
her,
like,
her ovaries are twitching.
I nearly died. I really want to ride this guy. At
He's a
this
demon
point,
slayer.
babies.
To her, he's a demon slayer.
well, that's it. My God, that's the second time Arnie. Well, it's the first time Arnie slays a demon in his movie career. Oh man, the thing is though, my God, that guy's just killed a fucking alien predator hunting monster. I want his seed. I must pass this seed on to my children.
It is the definite look she gives him anyway.
It is. She gives me a very sultry look, but he does not have that on his mind.
Oh no.
He's just thinking, I'm fucked. I've just been twatted by like 6 trains.
Yeah.
As those punches look like they hurt.
I need some protein shake.
I need an ibuprofen. Ah.
He's just dead.
He's got the stare. He's got the 1,000-yard stare, hasn't he? He's just staring at all my men are dead. All my friends are dead. I had to beat an alien to death.
I haven't got any proof.
I haven't got any proof.
My face hurts.
My face hurts. My whole body hurts. I'm sleep deprived. I'm rock hard because I beat an alien to death, and she's giving me a look, but I'm far too tired.
And we need to mention the helicopter pilot is actually the Predator.
He is.
No, I never knew that until today.
Sneaky bastard. He can cloak himself into looking like a human. See, that's why he wasn't in the second one.
Yeah.
Because they really went out a little bit of the way and went, aha, fooled you, and then ripped them all up.
Who is the Agent Smith?
Do a brief follow-on to Predator 2.
Yeah, let's talk about sequels.
I love Predator 2.
And me, great film.
I
I've
think it's
seen it
great.
for a long time, but it is brilliant. I loved the bit with the cheese grater. You know, the cheese wire, basically. When he
Oh yes, when
wire
he traps that Jamaican. Is he?
against the pillar or
He's the
whatever.
pillar in the net, the mesh net.
Splits him,
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like just that. You got a very sweaty Danny Glover finding a predator in LA, and it's. I think it's a good movie.
The backdrop's ace. You got the war between the Jamaicans and
the Colombians.
And
Yeah.
what more do you need?
El Scorpio.
El Scorpio is ready.
But what more do you
Snorts the
need?
coke. He's got 2 gold-plated oozes.
I'm sure he was in Predator.
Any
I forgot to
film.
mention it, but you know when the guy runs into the truck.
Mike, you just suggest that all Hispanic people look the same.
No, but he does look like El Scorpio.
Oh, right. Well,
And
I think you're going to be. I just think you think all Hispanic people look the same.
maybe it's his brother.
All right, sir.
Any film with Danny Glover in it.
El Mosquito.
Eldon Beetle.
How old would Danny Glover have been in that film?
Oh my God, in his 40s. Easy.
Was this pre-Lethal Weapon or around the same kind of time?
When did we say it was?
1990 Predator 2.
1990.
Okay, so Lethal Weapon's probably around that
You're smack in the
kind of
middle of a Lethal Weapon there, aren't you, really? 1990?
I was wondering how many times he said, I'm too old for this shit. In
He was 41 when he said
Predator.
that. I'm only 1 year off that. I felt that for 20 years.
Oh, you're too old for this shit. But no, I think Predator 2 is to be fair, is a damn good film.
87?
Predator 87?
No, Lethal Weapon.
Oh, so we've had Lethal Weapon, huh? Okay.
Predator 2 was when?
1990.
Yes, there you go. So he was even older. So he was too old for this shit 4 years prior, basically. And then he's 4 years older, but he managed to take out Predator.
Remember, you got Bill
What a
Paxton in that movie too.
Yeah.
What a dude.
You've got the girl who was, I can't remember her name now, she was Vasquez in Aliens.
Oh, she's badass.
No, it's not her.
No, it's not her, you're right.
No, it's someone else.
It is.
They all look the same, do they?
I genuinely thought it was. Oh shit, I'll get mixed up with Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I was freaked out the other day when I watched Aliens and Lady Gaga was the female pilot. She looks like Lady Gaga. I was like, no.
I doubt she was
In
born.
Aliens.
Yeah, Aliens.
Pharaoh. I doubt she was born when that movie was made.
Come on, Spunkmeyer, we're rolling.
That's fucking new spot on. I'll give you that. That was actually quite creepy. Is that the voice she usually does with a woman? Oh man. Right, that's Predator 2.
You're not seen
Predator.
Predators.
I refuse to watch it.
It's alright, it's a good film, it's not bad.
AVP, I watched the first one.
AVP was good. AVP
First
2
one was okay.
shit.
Second one was awful.
It was shit.
Claire, what
The
have you
Predator is the worst film ever. Only got
with-
halfway through and I was
the giant-
insulted.
With the giant predator.
Oh.
Yeah.
Claire?
You know when they were firing at the dogs, the Predator dogs?
Yeah.
What?
CGI, yeah, the
I haven't
CGI
watched that
Predator
one.
dogs.
Predator dogs?
Yeah. And they're shooting at them.
And they got little masks on.
And
No,
they're
but
just
they've just
standing
got
there.
dreadlocks and
Oh,
like
right.
predator face kind
And
of
they're
thing.
just standing there growling while I'm getting shot. I'm like, what the fuck is this? Oh, it's awful. There's
Gone too far, is it?
And there's some kid, autistic kid, isn't there? And he's found Predator gear. That's why the Predator's coming because he wants. Oh, it's what a mess. And had Gary Busey's son in it as well.
What a mess.
Jake Busey.
Yeah.
Oh man. It was
Had a
Starship
good
Troopers
cast.
theme.
Yeah, it had a good cast.
Yeah.
It was written by Shane Black, who plays Hawkins.
That's why we never mentioned him
It
again.
was awful.
Is
And
that Gary Busey's son?
Yeah.
It does look like him actually. Now you say that, so yeah, fair, yeah.
And
I
to be
see-
fair,
I know
he's
exactly
actually,
what
I like him. I think he's
it's
done
got
two.
Alfie Allen in it as well.
Yeah.
I'm not into sequels.
He was what's his face in Game of Thrones?
No.
Greyjoy, Theon Greyjoy.
Some sequels are better than the original,
Greek.
like Godfather Part 2. Surely you've seen that.
Terminator.
You never seen Godfather?
Who's in the what?
Oh,
Who's in
awesome.
Godfather 2?
No, it's better than the first one, isn't it? It's considered.
Yes.
Well, I think we can. I mean, the new one. What was so we got?
I'm the only one that's watched the new one, isn't it?
You know what's the new one? Prey, which I have heard very good things about, and people who I respect online have told me that it's actually incredibly good.
The first 5 minutes is good. That's all I've managed
I
to
will
watch.
watch it tomorrow.
Pretty decent. I'd say it was the third best.
I've heard people say it's the second best Predator movie, considering that number 2 is considered the second
It's got
best.
King William. He's awesome.
So just
character.
because there's a voodoo Jamaican king,
Yeah.
you're like, no, I'm sorry, never mind you Comanches.
From the other side, man.
The other side, mon. Yeah, it's
It's been too long since I've watched Predator 2. I might.
Oh, you know what?
Oh, it's so good.
You might have to be. I'll have to do it my next movie pick in another like 32 episodes time, whatever it
Do
is.
you know what? That'll be on Disney. That one.
Yeah, yeah.
It will be, yeah.
We'll have to watch that.
Prey obviously is a new one. The AVPs could have been so much more.
Yeah.
If you'd have put the AVPs in the same time span as Aliens, the movie, where you had the Colonial Marines going in to a colony that's invited by aliens and the Predators come to hunt them and they get stuck in the middle and maybe they have to form an uneasy alliance with the Predator at the end.
Did you ever play the game on the Xbox?
No, I don't think I did.
It was really good.
Yeah,
You could
yeah.
play the aliens, couldn't you?
Oh, I'm aware of
Running
that
all
game,
upside
yeah.
down on the walls and shit. It
Oh,
was
sick.
good. It was good.
Yeah.
The multiplayer was really good on that.
Still, it's kind of been let down a little bit, I think, this franchise.
Yeah, until you see Prey, and it's
Brings
a
it
pretty
back.
solid film.
Well, hopefully it can pick it up again and they don't have Shane Black anywhere near it.
Adrian Brody as a muscular hero. Fuck no, didn't do it for
There's
me
some issues.
whatsoever.
There's some issues with Predators, but overall it's pretty decent.
Yeah, it was alright, but it was just Adrian Brody's. They needed a different front man for that film, and then the Predators just wank.
Well, there's two races, isn't there? There's one, the big one and the small one.
It was just wank. It really
Wank!
was.
Yeah,
That's
Lawrence
registered.
Fishburne's good.
Do you want to sound the wank alarm? Wank! Wank!
That hasn't registered in my thoughts and long-term memory. I don't think it's, worth
No, it's
remembering.
nowhere near as good as the first one. I mean, it's almost a masterpiece in its category, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes,
It's like RoboCop. RoboCop,
Yeah.
the first RoboCop, fucking brilliant. 2 and 3,
No, 2 was alright.
it was okay.
3 was
But
dog
3
shit.
was
3 was
shit.
terrible. 3 was awful. 3 was
But the
unwatchable.
first one was brilliant, and
Yeah.
it really was. And even what you watch it now, it's brilliant.
It's really violent.
Gross.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very violent. I'm
Yeah.
surprised. Every time I don't watch it often, so but every time I just stray across it on telly at night, I do watch a bit of it. And I'm like, fuck me, this is incredibly violent.
It's the
You don't
first
get that
scene.
nowadays.
It's the scene where he gets shot, and then there's the other scene with the acid.
I mean, oh yeah, because he gets Murphyed when he's literally shotgunned to death.
Yeah.
His hand goes. That's a
he's
brutal. You know,
screaming all
that's
the
actually
time.
difficult to watch that scene.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're straying a bit off.
Yeah, no,
Okay,
yeah.
so-
Even so, but yeah, Predator, awesome.
Yeah.
One of my personal favourite movies of all time. Used to have a special relationship, but I was at my lowest points with this film. I'd watch it at least once a month.
With his cock in his hand.
No. Just when I was at low points, I used to watch films that always picked me up, and for some reason, Predator was one of those films that was associated with me feeling like
film.
You're a strange person, aren't you?
Predator, Ghostbusters,
I can
Naked
say
Gun 1 and
Ghostbusters is
2.
a comedy.
Yeah.
Naked Gun 1 and 2,
Yeah.
Black Hawk Down, Sink the
Maybe not so
Bismarck,
much.
Battle of Britain, Reach the Sky, and The Longest Day were my go-to
It
films.
does.
Yeah, I could. Most of those, other than maybe 3, I could understand like a pick you up kind of film.
I like Groundhog Day, Pick Me Up type of film. Or Trains, Planes and
It's too
Automobiles.
repetitive for me, Groundhog Day.
Bobo.
But no, this is one of my movies. This is one of my. It's mindless action. You haven't got to worry too much about the plot. There's a lot of guns going off. There's explosions. A very muscular hero beating an alien to death. What else do you want in life?
That's it.
A lot of half-naked men running about.
Well, you may like that, Mike. I mean, I don't really care. I didn't see past it.
I'm just pointing out. One of your pick-me-up films.
No, it's just mindless action. You haven't got to think too much. You sit back, you let the film take you away.
Yeah.
And there's miniguns.
Each one of those films he named off a minute ago are all fully men-orientated films.
Top Gun.
Well, I wasn't including pornography in all fairness. Because I've got a whole library of that on my tablet.
I bet you have.
Yeah, I have. All my favourites saved.
That's the one with the camel and the dog.
You see me that donkey sex show in Tijuana? Look at that film. I was there. No,
I'm moving on.
joking. Yeah, one of my favourite films of all time.
Yeah, it's great.
In classic Arnie, and at a time when the world is a lot less complicated and Hollywood could win everything.
And feed us with explosions.
Yeah. So, I've been Ben. Thank you very much for listening. Follow us on Facebook at Come to the Ball in the Post-Truth Apocalypse, YouTube at Apocalypse Ball, and we're on most podcasting platforms, including SoundCloud at Come to the Ball in the PTA. Don't do the flavour aid. Don't join a cult.
Okay, Mike, thanks for listening. Peace out. May the force be with you.
And I've been Clair, keep an open mind, but not so open that it spills out your ears.
And I've been Pete. Aim low, shoot high.